Hello again, and welcome to the Interchange Book 3, Unit 6 video. Today we're going to be talking about damage and how to describe it, specifically with nouns and adjectives. So let's get started. Okay, so let's look at this situation. Here we are at the mall, and there are some people standing in line at the return department. So they bought things at the store that they need to return, and they want to get their money back. So let's listen to the conversation between this woman, who is returning some different things, and the man who is working at the return department window. Now let's listen to their conversation. Hello, welcome to the returns department. How can I help you today?
Yeah, hi. The thing is that I bought a few things here a couple of days ago, and I found a few things wrong with them, so I'd like to return them, please, and get my money back.
Alright then, what seems to be the problem with the items you bought?
Well, I bought these glasses, and when I got them out of the package, I saw that they had all these scratches on them.
Yeah, they are a little scratched. Okay, what else did you have a problem with?
I also bought this cell phone, and when I got home and took it out, I saw that it has a giant crack on the screen.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is really cracked. Are you sure you didn't do something to it?
No. Why would you say that? It was damaged like this when I opened the box.
Okay, because normally we check the box before selling it to make sure that nothing is broken.
Well, if that is true, then why didn't anyone check these jeans? I mean, look, they're all torn and everything.
Ma'am, this is the style of the jeans. The tears are supposed to be there.
Is that right? Then I suppose you're going to tell me that this shirt is stained for stylish reasons too.
These stains look like paint. Were you painting while wearing the shirt, ma'am?
Maybe, but that's not the point. Here, look at this cup I bought. It's chipped and leaking.
Ma'am, this cup looks like it has been used. Is this a lipstick stain on it?
You ask a lot of questions, you know. Look, are you going to give me my money back or not?
I don't suppose you have the receipts for any of these things, do you?
Yes. Well, no. I threw them in the garbage. Can't you just trust that I bought them here and give me the money?
Nice try. Next in line, please. Okay, so let's look at the grammar that we just saw in the previous example of a woman returning some damaged things. So we're talking about describing types of damage in different ways. Now, we can do that if we use nouns, okay? And we can also do that if we use adjectives. So remember, nouns are like things, and adjectives are descriptions. Now, when we use a noun, remember we're always using have and has to describe that an object or something has something. And with adjectives, we're always using the verb to be because it's describing, okay? So let's look. We remember these glasses, okay, that the woman supposedly bought. What was the problem? Well, you could say it with a noun. You could say, it has some scratches, okay? Notice I'm using has and the noun, scratches. So these are scratches. It has scratches. But I could also use an adjective to describe this damage, and I could say, it is scratched. Okay? So if I'm describing this, I could say it is scratched. Or it has scratches. Now let's look at the shirt. Okay? If we remember what was wrong with the shirt, we can use a noun. We can say, it has stains. It has stains. Okay? So if I think about these, each individual one is a stain, but I could say it has stains, or it has some stains maybe, for using the noun. The adjective, it is stained. Okay? it is stained. Again, using the verb to be with the adjective, right? So these are just two ways to describe types of damage. Using a noun with the verb have and has, or using an adjective with the verb to be. Now let's look at some different types of damage and other words for it. So if we notice, we have verbs that describe damage. And we also talked about how we can use the same type of idea and talk about the noun, the object, using has and have. And we can also talk about the adjective using be. So let's look at the first one, break. Okay? So if we look at these windows, we could say, for example, that they are broken, using the adjective broken, right? You could say a break, if it's just one break. Not very common, but that's a possibility. So you could say the window has a break. Damage is a verb. And if we look at the building here, right, we could say it has many different things wrong with the building, many different things. So in general, that's damage. So we could say that it has some damage, or it is damaged. Again, using damage as the noun and the adjective is damaged. Okay? Crack. Crack. So if we look at the ground, the dirt, we could say it has cracks, or maybe a crack if we singular, or using the adjective, it is cracked. It is cracked. Okay? So again, using the noun and the adjective. Let's look at scratch. Scratch. Okay. Now, this is a common problem with CDs, if you use these still, right? And we could say the CD has scratches, or a scratch. And we can say it is scratched, using the adjective. Okay? Alright, let's look at chip. Aha. So this tooth, there's a big problem with the tooth, and we say it has a chip, or maybe chips, if there's more than one. Or it is chipped, using the adjective. Peel. Peel. So if we look at this paint on the wall, the problem is that the paint is peeling. Okay? Now we don't necessarily use this for the noun. We don't really have a good one for the noun, so we don't use that. But we just describe this damage. For example, the paint, we'd say the paint is peeling. It's peeling. Okay? Just the adjective. Tear. Tear. Okay, so what's the problem with these jeans? I could say they have a tear. Or maybe they have tears, for many tears. Or they are torn, for the adjective. Okay? Let's look at this one, wear. Wear. Now these boots, right? This person has worn these boots a lot, maybe every day. So if I'm going to say they have some wear, right? It's like when someone uses something a lot and it has damage, we say it has some wear. Or they are worn out. If we notice there's damage to the boots, and it's because he wears them all the time. So we say they have some wear, or they are worn out. Smudge. Smudge. So if we look over here, what's wrong with the wall? It has smudges, or it has a smudge, or it is smudged. Okay? So that's when there's like a stain, it's like dirt that's on the wall, basically. We use it a lot for like the wall and maybe the floor to say that it's smudged or it has smudges. Stain is similar, right? If we look at the shirt, we could say it has a stain or stains, and it is stained. So that's more for like the clothes. When you have something on the clothes and you can't clean it, or you try and clean it and it doesn't go away completely. Okay? Let's look at rust. Rust. Down here we could see that the metal is rusty. The metal is rusty, or it has some rust. Okay? So rust is only when the metal starts to become an orange or brown color because of the water and the air touching it. So that's when we say it has some rust or it is rusty. Dent. Dent. Now, if I look at this car, somebody hit the corner of this car and they affected the metal, the plastic of the car, and there's like what we call a dent. So this is a dent. The car has a dent, or maybe dents for many. Or it is dented as the adjective. Clog. Clog. So, imagine this happens to you. It's a terrible thing to happen, but hey, it happens, right? So I could say the toilet has a clog, or the toilet is clogged. Leak. Leak. Let's notice what a leak is. So this pipe, if you notice, it's going drip, 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 drip. And we could say it has leaks, right? Or it has a leak. Or you could say it is leaking as the adjective. It is leaking. And the last one, burn. Burn. So this toast, this piece of bread, I could say, is burnt. Now, some people are going to say burnt with a T, and some people say burned. Both are acceptable as the adjective. And as a noun, you could say it has a burn. Now, normally you don't say that for toast, but maybe if you have a hole in your shirt because of a cigarette or something like that, you could say my shirt has a burn. Okay? Now, I want to focus on some of these just to highlight some of the differences. Okay? Notice when I use damage, when I use damage as a noun, I'm always going to say some damage. I can't say damages because it's a non-count noun. I can't count the damage. It's just non-count. So I'm always going to say some damage or damage. Never a damage. No, it's non-count. We have another one that's non-count. For example, where. I'm never going to say it has a where. No, because I can't count it. So I'm just going to say it has somewhere. Same thing with rust. I cannot count rust. It's non-count, that noun. So I have to say it has rust or some rust. Okay? So those are the non-count nouns. Oftentimes, if you look, we have adjectives that look similar to past participles: broken, damaged, cracked, scratched, chipped. But we have a few that aren't. For example, peeling. Okay? We're always using the ing for that. It is peeling, right? We have one that's similar, leaking. So I'm always going to say it is leaking. It's not ed, right? And another one that's kind of different, rusty. Okay, that's not ed or ing. Okay, but the other ones are basically the past participles of the verb, right? Broke is the past tense, but the past participle, for example, is broken, and damaged, and cracked, and scratched, and chipped. They're all past participles. So there's a lot of adjectives and a lot of nouns, and there's a lot of vocab in this unit. So take a moment to look at these and try and memorize each type of damage for each type of picture. I hope this was helpful. Good luck, and thanks for watching.